Welcome back. Today, I'm going to be installing a set of Mr. Gasket valve covers on this 2006 300C SRT8 Edition with the 6.1 liter 3rd gen HEMI. Mr. Gasket fabricated aluminum valve covers were designed to fit the 2009 to present 5.7 liter, 2005 to 2010 6.1 liter, as well as the 2011 to present 6.4 liter Gen 3 HEMIs. They will accommodate OEM coil packs or a factory style replacement. I've got a set of MSD coils that we're going to install in place of the factory ones. Well, our car is here already, so let's go ahead and get started. Our first step is going to be to disconnect the negative battery terminal for safety. Now we can start the removal of the valve cover. I'm going to start on the driver's side. Begin by pulling the plastic shroud off. It's held in with 2 retainers, so a good jerk should do it. Next, you'll have to disconnect the coil packs. Do this by pressing on the tab that's found on the side of the connector. This will release it from the coil pack. I went ahead and disconnected the connection at the AC compressor to help me move the wiring harness out of the way. Using a pair of pliers, you can pull the retainers from the studs. I'm also going to disconnect the wiring harness from the fuel injectors. Pull up on the red tab to unlock it, squeeze and pull. Now we should have enough room to lay the wiring harness up and out of the way. We'll also need to remove this vacuum line and pull it from its mounting location. Now, using a pair of pliers, you can remove the tabs that hold the plastic cover. Using a 10mm socket, remove the 8 bolts that hold the 4 coil packs to the valve cover. Next, we'll remove the factory coil packs. We can use an 8mm socket to remove the 10 bolts securing the valve cover to the cylinder head. Now we can remove the valve cover from the engine. It may be necessary to pry it using a screwdriver or other large object between the valve cover and the engine cylinder head itself. Now carefully clean the sealing surface of the cylinder head. Try not to get any debris into the cylinder head while you're doing this though. Also clean the spark plug sealing surface. Now we can install the new valve cover seal as well as the 4 spark plug boot seals that are included in the kit on our new valve cover. Take note when you're installing the seals, there is an upside and a downside. The part that goes into the groove is going to be just a little bit narrower than the top side. Now is also a good time to change the plugs out if maintenance records require it. Now we're ready to install the new valve cover. Be careful when you go to position it that you don't lose your gasket or that the gasket doesn't drop out of the seat. Don't be too alarmed if there appears to be a significant gap between your valve cover and the cylinder head when you first install it. The aluminum construction allows some flexibility, so as you torque the bolts down, the valve cover is going to conform and create a tight seal. Now we can install the included bolt and washers that hold the valve cover to the cylinder head. Don't tighten them completely though. First install all the bolts and then we'll go back and torque them. Now that we have all the bolts in place, we can torque them down following the sequence that's listed in the instructions. Torque each one to 71 inch-pounds. You may have to get creative with some flex joints or a wobble extension to access all the bolts. Next, we can install the MSD coils that I told you about earlier. Simply slide them into the holes and press down firmly until they seat. Be sure to start all the bolts by hand first before using a wrench on them. Now you can tighten them using your wrench. All right, once you have the coils secured, we can go ahead and reconnect our vacuum line to the intake and reconnect our injectors. Don't forget to lock the tabs. And then connect our coils. Last but not least, we'll reconnect our AC compressor. Now we're ready to tackle the passenger side. On some models, the oil dipstick tube is actually secured by the bolts that hold down the valve cover. So you have to remove the nuts and then gently pry to lift it up out of its bore. And we're ready to install the passenger side. It may be necessary to disconnect and reconnect wiring harnesses or even vacuum connections just to gain access. Don't forget to go back and connect all your injectors as well as the new coil packs. Last thing we need to do is reconnect our negative battery terminals. And that wraps up our Mr. Gasket fabricated valve cover install on our 6.1 liter 3rd gen HEMI. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks again for watching. To find out if we have valve covers for your application or to see any of our other great products, visit our website at mrgasket.com.